Hi there, I'm Jamie Hanley, licensed professional counselor and yoga therapist, and welcome to my webinar, Coping with COVID Anxiety. So I wanted to start by centering ourselves. So please sit back and take a good seat in a way that's respectful to your body. And if it's comfortable for you, please close your eyes. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, just let them be soft, relaxed, and open. And then take one hand over your heart and one hand over your solar plexus, your sternum. And start to be a little bit more aware of your breath. So start to breathe a little more deeply. Let the breath travel all the way down into the base of your lungs. Let it move your diaphragm. See if you can feel more of your breath all the way down, letting the abdomen move just the ribs a little bit and the chest lifts gently so that more of the movement is in the abdomen, less of the movement is in the chest. Let the shoulders relax, let the face relax. Feel your breath ebb and flow in and out of the body. Can you make your breath more prominent in the movement of the diaphragm as opposed to the movement of the chest? Right? When we're in an anxious state, we tend to breathe into our chest. We want to shift that down into more deep belly or diaphragmatic breathing. Take a couple more diaphragmatic breaths. And take your next one as a long exhale out through your mouth. One more long exhale out your mouth. And then when you're ready, gently release your hands. Allow your eyes to softly open if they're not yet open. And fully welcome yourself here to being together in a virtual space. So thank you so much for meeting me here. So when you registered for this webinar, you should have also gotten a little worksheet. I love a good worksheet. And so we're going to go through some of the techniques on that worksheet, some of which are more yoga-based, some of which are more DBT-based, which is one of the therapeutic modalities that I tend to go to when I'm looking for more structure. But all of these techniques right now are really geared towards getting us to a place of feeling safe and secure and able to connect with each other. Because right now, in the state of our situation, everybody is very anxious, it's very stressful, it's extremely overwhelming. And what that does is it puts our nervous system into either fight or flight or freeze mode. And we want to try and get ourselves out of those kind of crisis bodily states into a place where we can be more calm and relaxed and really show up and support others and support ourselves in a way that's going to be really helpful to our immune system and really beneficial in coping with the situation and potentially being confined with the same people for an extended period of time and making sure that we support those relationships. So 3-part breath, the breathing that I just taught you, is my go-to breath for anxiety. I go to it every time I feel anxious. It takes the breath out of the chest and way down here into the diaphragm. And that movement of the diaphragm actually helps to shift the nervous system from fight or flight into rest and digest. So it calms us down. It helps us down regulate. Right now, a lot of our thoughts are really spiraling out of control, and we're in a place where it makes it very hard to think. When we're stuck in that anxiety state, it makes it really hard to make clear decisions, to behave in ways that we can feel good about, we tend to just go to habit. We want to interrupt that process and not go to habit, and instead try to stay calm and centered as best as we can. Like, I don't mean to ignore what's going on in any way. I mean, given the reality of the situation, how do we stay calm and centered? 3-part breath is really, really key. Also, as we just did, breathing out your mouth. Long exhales out your mouth. Sighing out your mouth can help bring you into a more relaxed, centered state, right? Anytime during the day that you need a sigh, just let yourself have a good sigh and a good reset with that sigh, okay? The long exhales, making them longer than your inhales. For some people, it's really beneficial to count. So you could count your inhale to like 3 or 4 or 5, and then count your exhale and double it up. Another variation on that is what's called 4-7-8 breath. So let's practice that. This breath includes a hold. So again, find a good seat, eyes open or closed, settle in and get comfy. I'm going to fix my camera. There we go. And maybe close your eyes if that feels okay for you. Take a couple breaths to just kind of settle in and reset. And then inhale to a count of 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold, count to 7. Exhale and count to 8. So you continue this at the pace of your own breath, okay? So you inhale, count to 4, and then hold for 7 if the hold feels okay in your body, and then exhale to a count of 8. Do it one more time. Inhale to a count of 4, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. And then again, take a few long exhales out through your mouth. To reset yourself. Right? So that 4-7-8 breath can be really helpful for people. Some people don't like holding their breath. So if you're a person who doesn't like holding your breath, simply do in for 4 and then out for 8. Okay? You don't have to hold your breath if it makes you more anxious. Don't do anything that your body tells you is making you more anxious. You know your body the best. Another breathing practice that I like that's kind of similar to 4-7-8 is square breathing. I have a recent post of this up on my Instagram, so you can go check out my Instagram at Jamie Hanley with a little underscore sign and find that video over there. But it's basically you're breathing in a little square. So you're in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold out for 4. And again, counting at the pace of your own breath. So those are some of my like super quick, favorite anxiety busting breathing practices to downregulate when you're feeling super stressed out. Another body-based practice that I like is what I call pretzel arms. So you're taking your arms out in front of you. My arms are really close to the camera. You cross them over, turn your thumbs down, and then roll that in towards your heart. So now you're giving yourself a little hug. You can see. Here, let me show you a little better. Okay, so now we've got a nice hug going on. And then you can close your eyes, if you like, and practice whatever breathing you like. Maybe a long exhale, 3-part breath. You can layer 3-part breath onto any of these breathing practices too. So whether you're doing square breathing or 4-7-8, you can do that deep diaphragmatic breathing within the context of counting your breath in a certain way while you hold your arms in a sensory, calming self-hug. Let's do a couple rounds of long exhales here. One more long exhale. And then whenever you feel ready, you can release your hands and come back to your breath. So now let's talk about some DBT-based coping skills. The first module in DBT is about mindfulness. And I love this diagram. You can see it. There are 3 states of mind. So there's reasonable mind, emotion mind, and in the middle here is wise mind. So in reasonable mind, that's where we check all the facts and the information, what the scientific research says about a situation. In emotion mind, that's where we get all caught up in our anxiety, where our habitual patterns of behavior like substance use or emotional eating live. And that's where things can get pretty out of control. When we let our emotions drive the train and we let our emotions drive our behaviors, that's when we can end up making things worse. So we want to try and find a way to validate your emotions, right? The anxiety that we're feeling right now is so valid. The worry, the uncertainty, the overwhelm is completely real and true. And then we can go and check the facts and what's going on and know that research is being done and that if we all distance ourselves, we can help flatten the curve, right? And then you can go in the middle path, find the middle path of wise mind. So yes, your anxiety is very real. Yes, there are facts out there saying things can be made better by social distancing, by washing your hands, by staying away from people who might be sick right now. Okay, so, and there are certainly alarming facts out there as well, and that's very real too. But can you make the wise mind choice by acknowledging the feelings and the facts? And hopefully that wise mind choice is going to be to hunker down, stay home, and use some of these skills that I'm teaching you. So if you go to the worksheet that I sent out, mindfulness skills in the top left corner is our first skill. And to be mindful of your state of mind is a skill, right? We want to be aware, am I in emotion mind right now? Am I in reasonable mind right now, not even acknowledging my feelings about the situation? Or can you find wise mind? And then when you find wise mind, can you practice doing pretty much anything from a mindful place? Go take a mindful walk. Can you wash the dishes mindfully? Can you sweep the floors mindfully? Mindfulness means coming back to the present moment, fully engaging with whatever you're doing over and over and over again. So it's almost like meditating on whatever you're participating in. So when you're sweeping the floor, notice, does your mind wander away to anxiety thoughts? Can you bring your mind back and just sweep the floor? Don't let your mind go where your body isn't. Right now, your body is sweeping the floor. Just sweep the floor. Okay? So things like that. You could be mindful breathing. We just did a whole bunch of breathing exercises. Any of those breathing exercises should be and could be done mindfully, right? Just paying attention to your breathing, coming back over and over and over again. Okay? Any physical activity, yoga, dancing, walking, running, all those things can be done mindfully, and those things are all available to us right now. Our second skill set is distress tolerance. So the skill that I love here with distress tolerance is called radical acceptance. Radical acceptance of our current situation. What is the reality of our situation? Because if we deny the reality of what's going on right now, then people are still going to go out, they're still going to hang out, they're still going to hug and love on each other, which we want to do because we're social human beings. But the reality is we need to keep our space and stay separated right now and find digital ways to connect with each other and ways to let someone know that we're thinking of them and that we care about them through text messages and things like that, because We cannot deny the reality of what is happening right now. Okay? If we were to deny the reality, we would continue to make things worse. Right? So how can you accept over and over and over again? Reality acceptance requires committing again and again and again. So please is our emotion regulation skill. And the acronym PLEASE stands for treating physical illness. So any bodily illness issues you have going on, treat them, take medication for a headache, take your medications as prescribed if you take anything regularly. Do not skip taking your regular meds. If you don't feel well, maybe right now you're not going physically to your doctor, but you're accessing telehealth to go to the doctor and get your symptoms checked out, okay? So taking care of yourself physically. Then E stands for exercise, so getting 20 minutes of movement a day in whatever way you can, right? I kind of am just doing yoga around my kids right now. Like they're playing, they're doing things. I'll hop on my mat and do like 5 minutes. And my daughter and I will sit down together and take a breath. And maybe while I'm cooking dinner, I'll do a puppy dog stretch at my kitchen counter. Like I'm just kind of fitting it in where I can. I'm going for a nature walk with my kids. So physical movement, getting your body, have a dance party, right? Do some kind of exercise. The A is for avoiding substances. Please, during this time, do not pick up or increase your substance use as a means of coping, right? Be mindful of that. Are you somebody who usually has 1 glass of wine a week and now all of a sudden you're having a glass of wine every day? Like that's something to be aware of because that's something that's really a slippery slope and easy to fall into. Sleep, get enough sleep. Make sure you're getting the amount of sleep that you need, right? Because when we're tired, it's real easy to get super cranky and then we become more vulnerable to negative emotions and a negative mindset. And then finally, balanced eating. How can you eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, eat a variety of nutritious foods? Let there be room for all the foods, right? There's no good or bad foods. Certainly right now, whatever you have available, right? It's totally fine to be eating all the foods, but try your best to nourish your body. Okay. And then our last skill is about interpersonal effectiveness. So how do we interact with other people? And there's 2 really important things about that right now. And the first is to validate other people's opinions. We're going to have different opinions about what's going on right now. And that's okay. Everybody's entitled to differing opinions. If you think that everybody should be staying inside and not talking to anybody at all and not going out for a walk with a friend, like that's your opinion and it's valid. If somebody else thinks they're going to meet a friend in the park for a walk and they're 6 feet away from each other, that's also valid for them and their choices. Try not to rip each other apart because it's only going to make things worse, right? We need to be supportive of each other. Seeing things posted on social media about like moms having schedules for their kids. Okay, great. Some moms really need a routine and that's the way their family thrives. And some moms, routine is really stressful and they don't want to be held to having a specific schedule. That's putting too high of an expectation on the situation. And that's fine too. We don't have to go to war about it and we don't have to make things worse. All the opinions are valid. Also, asserting yourself right now is another really important interpersonal skill. Asserting yourself to get your needs met, right? You are allowed to set strong boundaries right now about what you feel is safe for you and your family. And those boundaries need to be taken seriously. Okay, so being assertive doesn't mean you have to be aggressive. It just means that you state your needs and that you hold the line. And also, to go back to validation, validating somebody's opinion, it definitely doesn't mean you agree with them, right? You can validate somebody. You can say, okay, I understand that your opinion is that it's okay to meet a friend for a walk, and I'm going to choose not to meet a friend for a walk, right? So you hear how I can reflect back to someone that I understand what they're expressing without actually agreeing with it. So we can be assertive without being aggressive, and we can validate without agreeing. So I hope that you found these skills useful. Please feel free to email me or comment about what was helpful to you. I will be sending out more of these videos. I hope that everybody is staying safe and well, and may you all be happy, may you be at peace, may you be safe, and may you feel loved. Take care.